I would call to order the Village of Westmont Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for February 12th, 2014. May we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Thomas?
Here.
Commissioner Pill? Commissioner Anton?
Here.
Commissioner Fleet? Commissioner Fidesco?
Here.
Commissioner Van Buren is here, and Chairman Richard.
Here.
We have a quorum.
If you would please all rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. While I have you standing, please, anybody that's going to give any testimony for or against any item tonight, you got to be sworn in. So if you please raise your hand. I swear that any testimony I give this evening shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you all very much. I would also ask that we silence any and all electronic devices during the meeting. First item of business is approval of the minutes of our January 8th meeting. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion to approve by Commissioner Thomas, seconded by Commissioner Anton. Question on the motion. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Van Buren votes yes. Commissioner Thomas?
Yes.
Commissioner Anton?
Yes.
Commissioner Fidesco?
Present.
And Chairman Richard.
Yes. All right, the minutes as presented are approved. Old business, seeing none. Open hearing. New business. Planning and zoning item 14001. Paul Swanson of Paul Swanson Associates regarding the residential property located at 5703 Fairview, Downers Grove. That rankles me. For the following.
It's our post office.
A, that's a post office address.
Right,
They are in the corporate limits of Westmont.
correct.
Item A, a preliminary plat of subdivision request to subdivide one lot into 3 residential lots in the R3 Single Family Detached Residence District. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. May I pass out, I just have 2 of these on here. This is a little bit just who I am, my developer profile. I'm an architect. Don't hold that against me. And a project that I am doing in Paradise in Southern Pines or
sorry about
South Carolina. I go on a golf course there. And then a little economic impact thing here might be just a golf. Again, my name is Paul Swanson, and I'm the petitioner, and as I say, you can see an old architect. I've been doing this many years, and a developer. And so Jill said to move on, so I'm going to move on, and you'll have questions. I have some boards here. The first board depicts the property. It's 200 feet of property. It's next to a 20-foot easement that goes into the big detention area in the back here. And it's right where 57th Street would come to the property. There's a freestanding garage and an old house on it right here. And some of the zoning data is here, and I know it was in the report. These lots will exceed the size of the lots, both in terms of frontage and the size of the lots. So you have, pretty good size buildable area by the time you set back, let's say you're 6.5 feet from each property line and so forth. So that's the first board. Second board is, I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of the neighborhood. This is like an aerial. This is the subject property right here. As you can see, it's nothing glamorous. And but there's nice homes in the area here, covered with snow. And
They're going to zoom in on
you can
those.
Well, they can zoom in on it.
some of the homes in the area. And then the last board are some ideas of the type of home that would go here. These would be for families. I think families want to be near the detention area where their kids can run around and do all that kind of thing. They're nice big lots, so you can build a nice home there. They'd be two-story. They're going to be in the price range of about $600,000, maybe 2,800, 2,900 to 3,300 square feet. That's what's proposed there. I will be taking a partner on who is a builder. I build in North Carolina, and that handout I gave, I don't build here per se. We be partners on this. I'm not going to be the actual construction builder. I'll be the developer, land developer. And so these are our concept right at this point. So that was quick. So I'll take any questions that you may have.
Okay, anybody from the public would ask any questions? Seeing no questions from the public, we'll close the public comment. Staff, any input, please?
This is a fairly simple subdivision. It meets the R3 requirements. The architect will be required to show full detention for the sites once he does the final subdivision. So that will go through our staff in the permit process when he finalizes the building permits.
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll start with Commissioner Thomas.
I don't see anything glaring that would be a problem. Anything that's going to come up is going to have to be addressed by the engineering department or other parts of staff and that fire department, public works, or
Yes.
whatever, you know.
Yes, sir.
So, I don't see anything I have questions on. Good luck.
Thank you.
Commissioner Anton?
I'd like to see 3 houses go in there. It'd be a good thing.
Thank you.
Commissioner Van Buren?
I was amazed at how many things you have to go through to get to this. You have the village of Westmont, you got the village of Downers Grove, you got the county, you got Department of Natural Resources, you got it all.
It's challenging.
Yeah, it's
I remember the old days, it was just one thing, you'd come into the city, but my background is in commercial industrial, and I didn't know how good things were.
it's you're going to have to go through quite a bit.
Right.
I'm with the sanitary district.
Yes.
And I see you're going to have to make 3 cuts. At least this is what you're initially, for across Fairview to get to your sanitary service.
That is correct, sir.
6-inch you can bore.
I'm sorry?
6-inch can be bored rather underground directional boring.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know if you've gotten that far.
No, I have an engineer, Pearson Brown. They do a lot of, I have to join the Downers Grove Sanitary District, and then you're right, the sewer and water's on the other side, and you
Yeah.
come, so.
Again, tonight is just a straightforward subdivision, and
Yes,
so
sir.
we won't get into any of the information that we normally require if you're bringing us, plans of homes to be built or anything like that. So I have no problem with it. I just wish you luck.
Thank you.
Commissioner Fidesco?
Know the area well. I just have a question for staff first. The open space adjacent to the property, is that retention or is it strictly just open space?
Are you talking about directly north, the little strip?
Yeah.
The little strip is an access way, so that way they can get mowers through to get to the detention area to maintain it.
Okay, so this would have to be, when it does get developed, the retention, detention will have to be on the parcels, correct? There isn't any accommodation on the other parcel?
There isn't, so if they wanted to use that detention, they would have to add to it.
Expanded, yeah.
Or they would have to provide it on their own property.
Okay, all right, that's just something I bring up because, I mean, there is the possibility, if you do some work on that, but then you're going to have to talk to whoever.
He's been talking to our engineering staff.
Okay, all right, so I just brought that up. I think it's fine. I mean, it's well within the limits of the subdivisions that we require as far as the size. And I think the homes that you presented, the concepts are really nice. I think they would go well in the neighborhood. Good luck.
Yeah, we're excited. It's a nice neighborhood. This gentleman is the broker. He lives a block or so away and has convinced me that will be successful. He likes the area, and I do too. What I really liked most of all was this view out the back that goes forever. It's really terrific. So, anyway.
I have to agree with my fellow commissioners that I applaud your effort for doing this. The only thing I had a question on your site, elevations. On the north end of your northerly lot, there's going to be about a 4 to a 5 foot elevation difference as it drops down to the next adjoining property to the north of you?
Going this way.
Yeah, right, correct.
I don't have.
I
the
mean, that
topo
might just
here.
present you a problem a little bit later on, so.
Yeah, well, we'll have to obviously address that and meet all the
Yeah.
codes. My engineers are really good. They do a lot of big builder work. All the big builders, they do, this is what they do. And they've been my engineers for 40 years. And so any issues like that, we're going to resolve. The staff will make sure of that.
I applaud you for not trying to cram 4 houses in, because like we see so many developers do. So I'm very happy to see you in and working on the parcel.
Well, if I knew I could get 4.
Oh, no, I don't think so. You've already been thanked. Okay, any further comments? All right, under Planning and Zoning Item 14001, I would entertain a motion to recommend approval to the Board of Trustees. Item A, a preliminary plat of subdivision request to subdivide one lot into 3 residential lots in the R3 Single Family Detached Residence District.
So moved.
Second?
Motion by Commissioner Van Buren, seconded by Commissioner Fidesco. Question on the motion. May we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Van Buren votes yes. Commissioner Thomas?
Yes.
Commissioner Anton?
Yes.
Commissioner Fidesco?
Yes.
And Chairman Richard?
Yes. All right, sir.
Thank you very much.
Got
I
our
appreciate your
recommendation,
time.
and staff can tell you when you'll go before a committee of the whole.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next item, Planning and Zoning Item 14002. Majid Mike Kakbaz, owner, and Sandra Fabian, regarding the property located at 218 North Cass for the following. A, special use permit request to operate an animal grooming business in the B1 Limited Business District. Item B, zoning code variance request for the business to be located within 100 feet of a residence district. And please, I apologize if I mispronounced your name.
No, that's not my name. My name is Sandra Fabian. That's
Okay.
the owner of the building. Okay. My name is Sandra Fabian, and I have a pet business in Downers Grove. I've been the owner and operator for about 8 years now, and it's been a nice neighborhood location and neighborhood customers. And it's kind of, I'm outgrowing it. I've been living in Westmont for the last 17 years. My kids went to Westmont High School, and I really want to stay in Westmont and own a business in Westmont. So I found this location right there on Main Street, and I'm very happy with it. It was a beauty salon before, Marco's Beauty Salon. So everything I need is right there. There would be next to no built out whatsoever. I have equipment that would fit in right with the sinks that were already there. Basically, just have to hook the sinks up. No plumbing, no redoing of electricity or anything. The only thing I have is the variance of, instead of being 100 feet from residence, I'm 90 feet from residence. So basically, I'm just asking for a 10-foot reduction. I mean, that's less than what we are here, 10 feet. I don't even know, we might be like 15 feet away from each other right here. I have a lot of customers that are in this general area, and they are just, I've been telling them about it, that I found a nice new location, and they are with me. They are just, can't wait for me to start in Westmont and watch me grow. I want to have more retail at this new location. Right now, I have no retail space, and that's what this location will also afford me. So,
Okay, one item, you're asking for a zoning code variance for the business because you cannot meet the 100-foot limit for the residence district. So if this zoning code variance presents a hardship for you that you could not operate the business there if this were not granted, is that correct?
yeah, in the meantime, the building that I'm located at right now is, I believe it may have been sold, and so I am on a time frame now where I have to find another location. And like I say, I live in Westmont, I want to stay in this area, all my customers are here.
Okay. But the hardship being that the building is erected, it's within 90 foot, we can't move the building. So if that doesn't meet the definition of a hardship, I don't know what does.
And Mr. Chairman, if I can interrupt, and Jill, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think, when you look at the B1 district up and down Cass, almost every property abuts residential on the rear side.
Right,
So if
that's
she were to come into the B1 district, you'd probably encounter this hardship at any property. And you'll see this in the findings of fact, but also in the B2 district, we also, or even the C1 district, a little less so, but certainly in the B2, if you look at Ogden, a lot of those properties back up to residential. It's the way the village is built out. So she may encounter this hardship in many locations.
Okay.
And I believe Pet Supplies Plus had a similar issue because they were within feet of the residents behind them in the B2 district on Ogden Avenue.
I know the location behind me where the residence is, it's completely fenced in. Every residence has a pretty nice privacy fence back there. I don't know if that would make a difference or not. And the space that we have, I don't know if you got this picture, it was part of the
Right.
project.
Yeah.
There's a parking lot behind there, and so I won't be using the back space at all. I have 1,400 square feet of building, that is plenty.
Well, really, you can't park back there because it's not an approved surface.
Right, I'm not talking about parking
Oh.
back there, but what I'm saying is, right, because I can't use it.
The back of the building,
Right.
although everybody parks back there.
I thought,
But we don't-
I could walk to work.
we don't talk
if
about
I
that.
am approved, I can just walk to work, but,
Yes.
2 other people might like to park back there, but we'll park on the side.
Is there anybody from the public who wishes to speak on this? Seeing no hands raised, we'll close the public comment. Staff?
We had one call from the public from a nearby hair salon that was inquiring about the use, and the inquiry was satisfied with the fact that it was a animal grooming salon rather than a regular salon. And this is a very convenient use for the tenant because she already has the water hookups that she needs for her dog salon services. So that's all I've got.
Thank you. Okay, we'll start with the Commissioner Fidesco.
I think it would fit in well. The question I have is, as far as your retail space, how large of a space is that going to be?
Well, I think on that same piece of paper, there's a picture of it in the front. It's a pretty big space.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, but I mean, as far as the actual inside the store, how
Yeah,
large?
I don't know how it's broken up. I would say at least 600 square feet of it could be retail, because it's 1,400 square feet.
So it's rather substantial. So if everything works out well, you'll be able to sell, products to your customers for the animals,
Right, right. I mean, when I first started the business, I used to go to a lot of trade shows, and I stopped going to them because I didn't have the space to get, a lot of the neat new things that they had.
So just one last question. As far as the services versus the product, is it going to be like 80% services and 20% product as
I
far
would
as,
think
as revenues.
Right.
So I'm just looking at, is it going to be substantial tax revenue for the village, or is it going to be
I
just a
believe so,
team?
because I don't need to really grow my customer base. What my customer base, they've been asking for certain items that I don't provide, and instead of sending them to other places, I could say, well, here we have it, let me know what you have, what you're looking for, I can get it. So I would say, I mean, and grooming is hard, so I really want to push retail so I can, kind of be more of a salesperson rather than physically grooming. So I would say it's about 70% retail is what I'm looking to do.
Okay, great, thanks.
Commissioner Van Buren?
So this is why you have to have a special use, because this is designated as an area that is revenue producing, your B1 district.
Right.
So since you're mainly performing a service rather than selling stuff, but since you're going to be doing some selling, that'll be helpful to us. And I wish you success. I was going to ask whether you were banning another business, but you already said that. You have to move. So,
Right.
okay, that's all I have. Good luck.
Thank you.
Commissioner Anton?
Good luck. I think it'll be great. Good to have you. And, yeah, I think anywhere you went, you'd have the same problem with the location to the residences. So good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Thomas?
I'm glad you're coming to Westmont. When my family did have small dogs, Max and Molly, they went to your place, and we're always happy with your services, and I'm glad that you're coming in to our town.
Oh,
And,
terrific.
welcome,
Thank you.
and good luck.
Good to hear.
The only question I have is, your dogs, while they're there, will the people be waiting for the dogs? Do you have a waiting area where you hold them?
Yes, we do. We have it's already a blocked-off space behind a wall, and it's all cement walls. But normally, our dogs stay there between 2 to 4 hours, and because we've always been a neighborhood place, our customers want to get their babies right when they're finished. So I take appointments throughout the day. I don't take a bunch of dogs at one time. I've never been that kind of spot, or groomer. Not a factory type thing or assembly line groomer. We like to take them throughout the day and just have a more laid back environment for the animals. So people come and take them, when they're ready. We give them a call, we text them, we email.
Do you envision an outdoor area for the dogs? Might be fenced in the warmer weather?
I have never used
'Cause
that before.
I
so-
would be concerned about the noise and perhaps the feces from,
Yeah,
if they
no,
were.
I haven't used anything like that in the past
So-
8 years,
Okay,
and
good.
I provide any bags or anything that a customer might need or even dispose. They bring it inside the shop and I
Sure.
dispose of it for them. So I've never had that kind of problem.
Okay, so my understanding is that at this time, you're not planning any outdoor storage or of the
Not at all,
dogs?
no.
Okay, that's all I have. John, you wanted something?
Yeah, just, the two, if any complaints were to arise, they'd be over noise when the dogs, if they're created while they're trying to dry out or whatever, start barking. You mentioned in your write-up, this tenant space is improved with concrete walls, thereby providing a sound barrier.
Yes.
And what's your experience with the noise level when you've got several dogs waiting and some dogs are a little anxious?
Well, what we do now, we don't like to hear dogs bark all day long when we're working either, because we have phones to answer and people are coming in. We want them to see it calm. So we keep a lot of dogs by us if we know which dogs are barkers. We know our clientele. So if there are like some that are going to bark, we either take them at the end of the day where it's a little bit more quiet, or in the morning, in and out. It all depends. Every dog is different, but we try and maintain a quiet environment for them.
And then the only other area of complaint would be when dogs are coming in and out, they may want to relieve themselves before they come in or as they're leaving. And dog owners these days are pretty responsible about cleaning up, but some
Definitely.
aren't. It might be a good idea to patrol the area, especially that gravel area.
Right. Well, where I've been on Fairview, right around the corner. I've always done that, you know. It's pretty much second nature to us to do that because we don't want any complaints, you know. We're there to, you know, make a living and just make everybody happy. And
My dog doesn't bark, it just shakes.
Oh.
Same here.
Scared to death.
Just like its owner.
That's right.
Any further comments?
Nope.
Okay, since we have a special use request, we need a reading of the findings of fact.
218 North Cass Avenue, Westmont. Request for a special use to allow an animal grooming business in the B1 Limited Business District. Criteria number 1, the establishment, maintenance, or operation of the special use will not be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare. All grooming will be conducted indoors. All animals must have up-to-date vaccinations, including rabies, distemper, and bordetella, and be in good health. Poorly behaved animals may be refused service. This proposed use will not impact the public health, safety, morals, or general welfare. Criteria number 2, the special use will not be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity for the purposes already permitted, nor substantially diminish or impair property values within the neighborhood. The proposed use will be conducted completely indoors. The tenant space is constructed with concrete walls which will provide an adequate sound barrier. The proposed use will not result in adverse noise, light, hours of operation, or other adverse impacts on surrounding property. The establishment of this special use will not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of surrounding property for uses permitted in the district. The surrounding area is fully developed, and the use of this existing tenant space will not impede any future development of surrounding properties. Criteria 4, adequate utilities, access ways, drainage, and/or other necessary facilities have been or are being provided. The proposed use will occupy an existing tenant space which is served by all necessary utilities, access ways, and drainage. Criteria number 5, adequate measures have been or will be taken to provide ingress and egress so designed as to minimize traffic congestion in the public streets. Sufficient off-street parking exists for this proposed use, and the use will not generate significant traffic. Criteria number 6, the special use shall in all other respects conform to the applicable regulations of the district in which it is located, except as such regulations may in each instance be modified by the village board pursuant to the recommendation of the Plan Commission. The proposed use in the existing building comply with all other village regulations except that the applicant seeks a variance to allow this use within 100 feet of a residentially zoned district.
If you are in agreement with these findings, we are unanimous in agreement. The findings of fact for a special use are hereby adopted and approved. Under Planning and Zoning Item 14002, I would entertain a motion to recommend approval to the Board of Trustees. Item A, a special use permit request to operate an animal grooming business in the B1 Limited Business District.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Anton, seconded by Commissioner Thomas. Question on the motion? A roll call, please.
Commissioner Anton?
Yes.
Commissioner Fidesco?
Yes.
Commissioner Van Buren votes yes. Commissioner Thomas?
Yes.
Chairman Richard?
Yes. Okay, we have a zoning code variance request for item B. May we have a reading of the findings of fact, please?
218 North Cass Avenue. Request for a variance to allow a dog grooming business to be located within 100 feet of a residentially zoned district. Criterion number 1, the property in question cannot yield a reasonable return if permitted to be used only under the conditions allowed by the regulations in the district in which it is located. The property is located in the village's central business district, which includes a dense mix of retail, restaurant, and service-oriented businesses. The proposed business is consistent with these uses. Although the applicant's business will be located within approximately 90 feet of a residentially zoned property, that residential property has existed for years adjacent to commercial businesses. The applicant cannot yield a reasonable return if this distance requirement is strictly enforced. Criteria number 2, the plight of the owner is due to unique circumstances. Much of the village's B1 Limited Business District abuts or is in close proximity to residential zoning. Residential uses are allowed in the B1 Limited Business District. Additionally, much of the village's B2 and C1 business districts abut residentially zoned properties. The applicant faces a hardship in that she will be located adjacent to residential zoning in many potential locations throughout the village. Criteria number 3, the variation, if granted, will not alter the essential character of the locality. The proposed business will occupy an existing commercial tenant space that was previously used as a hair salon. This business will be conducted completely indoors and is not expected to generate adverse noise, light, hours of operation, or have any other adverse impacts on surrounding properties. As a result, the proposed use will not alter the essential character of the area.
If you agree with these findings, please raise your hand. We are unanimous in agreement. The findings of fact for a zoning code variance are hereby adopted and approved. I would entertain a motion to recommend approval to the Board of Trustees. Item B, a zoning code variance request for the business to be located within 100 feet of a residence district.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Fidesco, seconded by Commissioner Van Buren. Question on the motion. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Fidesco?
Yes.
Commissioner Van Buren votes yes. Commissioner Thomas?
Yes?
Commissioner Anton?
Yes.
And Chairman Richard.
Yes. Okay, it is hereby, we are only a recommending board, of course, but you have our recommendation for approval, and thanks for coming into the village.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all.
Next item, planning and zoning, item 14003, Village of Westmont, regarding a zoning code text amendment as follows. A, amend Appendix A, Section 11 to 15 of the Westmont zoning code regarding exempt signage.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm here to present a text amendment for A-frame signs in the B2 district. You may remember about a year and a half ago, we had a text amendment to allow A-frame signs in the B1 district, which is in the downtown. Since then, we've had some requests for A-frame signs, and this conversation was brought up at the Building and Zoning Committee hearing. And the Building and Zoning Committee members felt that this would be helpful for local businesses. It could be used as an economic development incentive, and permits would not be required. So each business could have a small A-frame sign, and staff is recommending in the B2 district that it be limited to private property, whereas in the B1 in the downtown, they don't have a lot of private property, so it's allowed to be on the sidewalk. So with that, I'm available for any questions.
Okay, let's start with Commissioner Thomas, if you would.
I don't have any. I think I think it will go well and can be useful to all the businesses in the B1.
Commissioner Anton?
I like it. How many times you're walking downtown, you don't know exactly, there's nothing in the window, you have to try and guess what it is, and it's kind of guide you in. I think they have one at the ice cream store.
Right.
I thought that was a great idea. See it down the way, and kids can run up to the sign, and whatever they have, it gives them an extra chance to advertise. It's a great idea.
And I'm correct that they're permitted in the B1 district, but the idea here is to expand them and allow them in the B2 district, or at least make the regulations consistent with what happens downtown.
Right. The only inconsistency would be that the B1 business district can put it on public sidewalk.
Right.
Right.
I think it's a great idea. Helps the businesses. Good idea.
Commissioner Van Buren?
The question, though, is if the B2 can't be on the public sidewalk?
Right, because most of the B2 businesses have, they have private area, whereas the B1 business district is mostly located so
Right,
close
face
to
up to
the
the
sidewalk that
street.
they just don't have enough room.
Okay, it's a good idea.
Commissioner Fidesco?
Yeah, I was thinking most of the B2 districts will be more like a parking lot and a sidewalk on their property, but they would, and then these are strip malls, or in some cases, a one-off store. And I'm thinking it's a great idea, because it'll give them the ability to advertise their specials, you know, as you're walking into their location.
Right.
So, yeah, you can't always see the signs inside the stores. So I think it's great.
The only question I have is, I see where it's one sign per lot. And that would be if we have an intersection, say like the corner of Cass and Ogden, if you would, there's still only going to be one sign.
We should probably put one sign per business if it was a shopping center, because I think the intention was to allow each business. So that's a good catch. John, do you think that would be appropriate?
Yeah, I had the same question. If you have a strip center with multiple retail uses, want to take advantage of that.
Right.
It's hard to pick and choose, and, is it first come, first serve?
Right, yeah, I agree. I think the intention was to be one sign per business.
Per
So
business.
So we can
Okay.
update that language.
That's all I have.
I have a question, if I may.
Sure,
Or
of
two.
course.
This signage is exclusive of the other signage requirements as far as us measuring wall signs and pole signs and things like that. I don't know if we should add a statement to that effect. Or if
It's in the exemptions
It is,
sections.
okay,
Yeah, so
perfect.
I think that it automatically gets that.
And while this could be on private property, it still could be on a private sidewalk, as you pointed out,
Right.
Steve. And you still could have an obstruction issue and therefore a safety issue. I don't know, the downtown sidewalks are extraordinarily wide compared to private sidewalks, so you could have a tight squeeze. I don't know if we should have some general language prescribing at least such signs shall not obstruct private sidewalks and allow reasonable pedestrian access. Something along those lines, so we'd have the right, if there are complaints, to address it with the property owner.
Okay.
Good one, John.
Every now and again.
Pulled one off.
Okay. I'll put together some language and you can take a look.
That's it? Works great when I need them.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, no further comments? Okay, I would entertain a motion to recommend approval to the village board. Planning and zoning item 14003, item A, amend appendix A, section 11 to 15 of the Westmont zoning code regarding exempt signage.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Anton, seconded by Commissioner Fidesco. Question on the motion?
Yeah, I would say to add to the motion, whoever motioned to add to the motion, the amendments as stated by our attorney. Right? Did you motion? No. Who made the motion?
Yeah, I made the motion.
Stan.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
Sure, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm okay with that as a second.
Do we need a motion on?
It's okay. I
It's-
think this is.
everybody knows
this is
what's going
Pretty
on.
straightforward. The minutes will reflect with the changes.
Yeah, okay. No further comments? We have a motion. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Van Buren votes yes. Commissioner Thomas?
Yes?
Commissioner Anton?
Yes.
Commissioner Fidesco?
Yes.
Chairman Richard?
Yes. Does anybody have any announcements, other business?
Regarding our staff, our Community Development Director Shannon Malik recently resigned. I'm not sure if any of you had heard that, so she sent along her fond farewells to all of you, and she'll be missed.
She resigned.
Wow.
Oh, I think it's time for me to make a motion. How about, let's motion Jill to be the new Shannon.
I'm sure that'll help your cause.
Adjourn.
Most of the turn.
She's over there going, no.
Okay, any further business, comments? Motion to adjourn?
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Van Buren, seconded by Commissioner Thomas. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.